Okay, looks like we are live. So welcome everyone to this March edition of the ROV Global Meditation. Welcome to those of you who are joining us on Zoom. Thank you to Monica, Bill, Karen, and Michael on Zoom, and also those of you who are joining us on Enlightened World Network and also on the Raising Our Vibration Community Facebook page. So welcome, welcome. Today, Stephen is going to be guiding us in liberation through formless awareness. So what is formless awareness? So when we think of formless awareness, we're usually meaning the qualities of stillness, which Stephen is going to emphasize in the meditation here today, silence, and spaciousness. And these qualities are like portals that we absorb into, that relax the body and balance the emotions, quiet the mind. And as we rest in those qualities, or as those qualities, then we open to this felt sense of boundless awareness, this pure awareness that we are as our most essential being. So that's where Stephen's guiding us today. And again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your participation. And I will pass it to Stephen. It's all yours.
Kevin, thank you so much. And love and blessings always to everybody on this beautiful day, wherever you are. So this is a very simple meditation practice. This is liberation through formless awareness. So essentially, I'm going to guide you into diving into the ocean of being through the portal of stillness. So the purpose of this meditation is to shift from ordinary sensory awareness into boundless awareness using the element of stillness as a portal, just as Kevin was saying. Diving into stillness represents a quality of sensory experience that you can absorb into. So we all know this simple portal. When you're very still and very quiet, it can be very easy to access that boundless state. So stillness becomes the portal through which you dissolve your habitual egoic sense of self into realizing boundless awareness. We're going to begin this in kind of a novel way, and I'm going to make this an analogy to diving itself. So if you've ever been diving, either free diving or snorkeling, so I'm curious if you have, then you'll know that feeling when you drop down under the ocean. I love the ocean. I was brought up beside the ocean, so I've done many hours of all sorts of ocean exploration. And when you dive down deep into the ocean and you just sit on the bottom, and it's very silent and still, and in that sense also very spacious, feels like it can go on forever. And a lot of people that I've coached over the years have spoken about the ocean as being one of their access points. When they're in that calm, still space, they can feel very open. There's sort of a visceral sense of tapping into the ocean of being. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive down deep into the ocean of being. And in a sense, the ocean of stillness, as we rest in it, we're going to take off all our equipment. A little bit like Muji, leaving your shoes outside the door. Here we're going to explore, first of all, the senses, and then the thoughts and the feelings, and then rest in stillness and notice whether there's any stillness or movement. So in that sense, it's a bit like diving down to the ocean and taking off all the equipment one by one, learning to let go, learning to surrender through our feelings, our thoughts, our memories, our hearing, and so on, and then resting in that stillness. So it's quite simple in one way. So I'm going to ask you to accompany me on that very, very simple and powerful journey of stillness. So to begin with, you can gently close your eyes for a few moments and notice what's present. Just simply that. And as you dive with me into this ocean of stillness, into this liberation, the true formless awareness, feel free to rest. Whenever you access open awareness, feel free to rest in open awareness, in the stillness of being. So here you're just resting back and opening up. And we're going to keep accessing awareness through stillness and then resting in that open awareness. So just notice what's present just for the first few moments. And this is one of the most essential key points of our practices. We can take a portal like this, like stillness or silence or spaciousness, and simply experience awareness through that portal. So all we're going to do throughout this is we're going to keep letting go, feeling into the stillness that's present, and then resting in awareness of that stillness, and eventually resting in awareness of awareness itself. So it's this gradual process, just like if you did go and dive down deep into the ocean, you'll find yourself getting more and more quiet, more and more calm, and more still. So we're going to allow all our experiences to unfold in this way. So get comfortable first. And in a moment, we're going to go through our very familiar cues. So to begin with, I'd like you, if this does help you to truly let go, just simply bring to mind an experience, maybe an experience out in nature, where you're really able to surrender to that quality of stillness. So this could be time in the ocean, maybe floating on the ocean, maybe submerged in the ocean. It could equally be by a river or a lake, just that gentle feeling or sound of the water. It could be the smell that does it. So just recall a time in your life when you felt very, very still and calm. So for me, there's a particular waterfall that I used to visit with my wife when my daughter was quite small. And it had a certain sound, and we'd just sit beside it and put our feet in the pool. And it was a very silent and still place. And it was just the bubbling of the waterfall in this beautiful forest pool. So it could be something as simple as that. So just do that for a few moments and just notice how you feel in your body. And as you rest in this natural stillness, consider dedicating your practice to help all beings recognize their own boundless awareness. And then for a moment, bring to mind the blessings of all these practices. And particularly, perhaps, bring to mind someone that represents to you this boundless stillness, this boundless awareness. This could be a teacher or a friend or a parent, or could even be an essence in like nature, or could be just a time when you've been together with someone that gives you that feeling of deep presence. So now we're moving from nature into form. So just consider a form in a way that this stillness and presence arises for you in another person. Just bring that feeling here, almost as if that feeling is right in front of you. So this, you don't need to see the person. This is just simply feeling that quality of openness or compassion and stillness in the person. And just for a moment, feel it in front of you and all around you. It's as if you're embraced by this stillness and presence. So this is just gently feeling into stillness as a portal through a person, through a relationship. So it's not a physical form. You're actually feeling into your own perception of stillness and presence through a person. So for me, I'm going to my times with the Dalai Lama when I just sat with him and I was able to hold his hand and just felt that gentle presence of a monk. That's how he often calls himself. He always says, I'm just a monk. So I can feel that presence in front of me, to my right, around me, behind me, supporting me, to the left. It's very gentle. It's very gentle, kind, still, calm presence below me and above. So however that arises, however that blessing of that presence arises to you, just feel that. Feel all of that love, presence, stillness, fully embodied in that being, and then feel all of that presence directed into you. So really feel that sense of connection with this presence of stillness in you, in them. And then imagine that felt sense of deep stillness, deep presence dissolves into light and dissolves into you. So you can feel it. It's almost as if, in my case, that gentle, kind, still presence of the Dalai Lama is merging into me. Just that. And then just let go and rest. For the next few minutes, just completely drop any and all effort, any expectation or judgment about what's happening. Just give yourself permission to simply be this stillness. Simply rest naturally. Just that. Nothing to do here. There's no meditation. There's no focus. There's no attention. You're just resting as this natural expression of stillness, since we're using stillness as a portal to pure, boundless awareness. And now we're going through our familiar cues, and this time feeling into them as portals to awareness, as stillness. So focus down to the soles of your feet and feel the sensations of contact between the soles of your feet and the ground. And allow your feet and toes to soften and relax. Sometimes it helps if you actually scrunch them up and then just relax them completely. Just like the metaphor I gave at the beginning, as if you're diving down into this ocean of being. So here you're relaxing. Your feet are becoming very quiet, very soft. Very, very still. And this stillness of body feels like you're melting. The stillness is so deep and this presence so pure. It's as if your feet are melting away. And then feel that stillness moving up through your calves, thighs, hips, and into your hands and fingers. Right, so your hands are resting in your lap, however they're resting. Maybe the thumb tips are touching. Perhaps the right hand's in the left. Or they could be just resting open on your lap. Feel the sensations of contact with your legs, and then Allow your hands and fingers to soften and relax too, as if this gentle, calm, peaceful presence, this stillness, this openness is present in your hands too. So your hands and fingers are soft and still. Almost as if you're saturating your body with stillness. And you feel the stillness now moving through your body, up through your belly, your organs, your chest, your heart, your arms and shoulders, everything relaxing down in the stillness, releasing tension in your neck and shoulders. And then you're imagining a string attached to the top of your head, drawing your spine gently upright, giving you this feeling of vertical spaciousness through the core of your body, up through your spine, through the top of your head. And again, feel as if there is a flow of stillness, like the ocean, moving up through that central core. You might notice it as a breath. You might notice it as a gentle flow of liquid nectar of stillness. Might feel like a stream. The stillness in my body as it flows up feels like a river, a gentle river, right in that astral spine, right in the sushumna. It's just gently flowing up through the spine, through the top of my head. So it flows up. That stillness saturates through your throat, your chin. Feel as if it's actually finding any density and just pouring stillness into your cheekbones, nose, and behind your eyes, your ear, your crown, up through the top of your head. So in this gentle stillness, you're tucking your chin ever so slightly. You're softening and relaxing your tongue. Even your tongue is still. It's a good check-in for this portal known as stillness, just to soften and relax and keep your tongue very still. And then you gently smile, this subtle smile of peace and stillness. Feels very joyful and happy. The stillness is so serene. It's a bit like a garden in the spring. It's so beautiful just to smile in stillness and peace. So allow this gentle, calm, peaceful, still smile, like the Buddha's half smile. It's just so gentle. It's just ever so slight. It relaxes your jaw, relaxes your eyes, releases tension from your eyebrows and forehead. And that gentle, still, peaceful smile washes all the way down through your whole body. So now that stillness with that gentle Buddha smile flows down through your whole body, creating this incredibly beautiful, nurturing inner environment. It's like you're literally pampering your body and all its cells with this gentle peace and stillness. And your cells relax, they open up. You can feel it washing down through your face, jaw, throat. So now it's flowing all the way down through your heart, chest, arms, hands, right down and into your belly. So now there's this ocean of stillness in your lower abdomen, in the lower dantian. You just become aware of the sensations of breathing, stillness here. Right? There's this still, calm, peaceful breathing. So as you inhale, notice a subtle expansion of your abdomen. And as you exhale, notice the subtle relaxation inwards of peace and stillness. You're gently aware of the stillness. From the very start of that in-breath, when it arises out of the stillness, you can feel the sensations of in-breathing and stillness evolving in every moment. Breathing in, stillness. Feeling that sensation evolve in every moment, reaching its peak and then gradually fading away. There's such a degree of clarity here in the stillness that you even can see and feel the pause itself, the pause between the in-breath and the next out-breath. Your mind has the attentiveness, that gentle attentiveness, which is so clear that you even recognize that waiting as the next out-breath begins, that first stirring of the out-breath, and then feeling its sensations evolve and change with every moment of stillness until it too fades into nothingness again, into emptiness. And you observe that gentle pause of peace and stillness, that stillness between the out-breath and the subsequent in-breath. Just that. You're deeply diving to this ocean of being through the portal of stillness. All the way on the inhale, aware of the stillness of the breath, aware of the pause with such clarity, and then aware of the exhalation, all the way until the pause and stillness. The breath is so still now. It's calming down automatically, just simply noticing, being aware, awareness of the sensations in every moment, becoming softer, smoother, like a piece of silk. It's so still. You can even assist this process by gently saying to yourself in your inner mind, still, 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 be still. The breath is becoming so soft and so still. It's like a delicate flower, the most pristine stillness. You can't grasp it tightly or you'll destroy it. It's so delicate. Requires the most delicate mindfulness. Gentle, persistent, surrender. Gentle, letting go. So all you know here is this breath of stillness. Your attention is so quiet and calm that all you know is this one moment of breath, this stillness. Your mindfulness is unbroken and gently feeling the breath calming down and the sweet, sweet joy, sweet happiness arises like the golden light of dawn on a horizon. Because all your energy is flowing into the knowing of stillness and not the doing of it. You're actually doing nothing. You're just simply feeling, being present, watching, knowing. And there's this gentle sign that's arising that you're doing nothing. It's the tranquility the stillness, the calmness of your breath. You're dropping, sinking deeply, like the ocean, deep down into the ocean now. The sensation of your breathing is becoming still and calm and peaceful. And it's so exquisitely beautiful. Now you're just remaining, it's like you've dropped down to the bottom of the ocean of being and you're just resting on the bottom, remaining in stillness. You are the ocean, just resting. Allow your attention to become completely absorbed in this stillness. Stillness of the ocean of being, as if nothing else matters. Your breathing is so subtle and peaceful, so quiet and soft. There's barely any sensation in it. Just the flow of awareness itself, just this knowing of this exquisite stillness, the portal to awareness itself. So as you rest in this stillness, sitting in the ocean of being, we're now simply going to become aware in the stillness of what is happening in your body. Just notice in the stillness any sensations that are present. So you're bringing the stillness of knowing breathing to the stillness of knowing body sensations. They're not objects. They're just simply experiences unfolding in this ocean of stillness and openness and emptiness. It's as if your body is happening here in the ocean of being, and all the sensations are just like movements in the ocean, like the gentle waves. There might be very little in the way of body sensations, or there could be quite a lot. Just simply be aware in the stillness of what arises. Just relax into that stillness and allow the experience of your body to unfold effortlessly. The knowing of breathing, the knowing of body sensations. Now just drop the focus on the body and just rest in this ocean of being. Rest in this stillness. Rest effortlessly. And bring awareness to sounds in this ocean. If there are any sounds present, just notice them. Again, you're bringing the knowing of breathing, the knowing of body sensations. Here, it's the knowing of sound. So as you rest in this stillness, you're simply knowing sounds as they arise. And sounds are also just like movements in that ocean current, in that ocean of pure awareness. They just arise. And you're this open expanse of the ocean of being. You're so very still. You can experience hearing without grasping onto it. It's just happening within the ocean of being. You're experiencing it through this portal of gentle calm, stillness. If there's any shred of effort here, drop it. You don't need to control the experience here. You're just allowing sounds to happen effortlessly. The ocean of being is always present. Awareness is always here. We're just simply orienting to that and being the ocean. Being the vast awareness and allowing sounds to unfold naturally. As we remain very, very still. Now again, rest back in that stillness, in the stillness of the ocean of being. You're just resting in, nothing to do. Drop the meditation, just sit. Now you can gently either observe what is happening in your inner vision, so the light behind your eyelids, or if you wish, gently open your eyes and take in what you see with the same knowing awareness we did with breath, with body sensations, with sounds. Now there's just a gentle awareness, a knowing of everything that you see with your eyes closed. So either the light behind your eyelids or with eyes open, what you see all around you. You're resting in the stillness of awareness. So when you open your eyes, you're very still. And if your eyes are closed and you're seeing the light behind your eyelids, you're very still. Like an awe-filled child. There's a sense of wonder. That feeling, seeing this way through the portal of stillness. You don't need to focus on anything. You're just allowing your entire field of vision to open up. To be this vast ocean of sea. So relax into that. Gentle, still seeing. The knowing of what happens to vision in gentle, calm, still. Just allow it to unfold naturally, just as it happens, as you rest in this knowing, calm, stillness of awareness itself. global control. Trust your own awakened nature. Trust the ocean of being. Now you can close your eyes, or if they're already closed, you can just rest back, just sit, nothing to do, nowhere to go, no meditation to have, no experience to have, no meditator. Just sit here fully, completely, like you're on the bottom of the ocean of being, just sitting, just resting. Now bring this gentle knowing through stillness to the mind. And just notice what arises as thought. As we're resting in stillness, you might notice that thought arises very slowly. Here, you're not paying attention to thoughts as objects. You're just simply allowing yourself to rest as this vast ocean of being while thoughts arise. It's a bit like being on the bottom of the ocean. If you let out bubbles and it's very calm and peaceful, there might be very few bubbles, maybe not at all. And if you're a little bit restless, there might be a few more. So just see if you can stay connected to this gentle, still, open awareness as thoughts arise. It's like you're catching them just as they arise, like a gentle ocean current flowing all around you and through you and in you. There's nothing you need to do to make this happen. To try to stay connected to this gentle, still, calm awareness. It's already happening. Now we're going to turn awareness to the whole experience of perception itself. And just simply notice whether the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the senses are very still or moving. Both are okay. This is just simply bringing awareness. At times, you might find you're very calm and still with very few thoughts and emotions or little movement of attention towards any sense object. And at other times, it might be very active. You might find lots of thoughts and feelings and perceptions arise. So as you rest in this gentle, calm stillness, just notice when the mind is still and when it's moving. And this might arise for you as a thought or a feeling or as a sense perception. Just notice where awareness moves. You're just resting as this knowing stillness of awareness and just noticing. When you're still and when you're moving. You don't have to create stillness or hold on to any periods of stillness or stop yourself from being active by controlling thoughts or emotions or even directing the attention. The practice here is simply to rest in this knowing, calm stillness of awareness, to rest as the ocean and just notice the currents. Notice what's happening. Notice what's present. Even if you're getting sleepy or if you get dull or restless or even confused, you can bring this gentle, calm, still, peaceful awareness And notice that. Be aware. As long as you know that you're calm and peaceful and still, or that you know that you're restless and agitated, or that you know that you're dull or sleepy or confused, that's enough. Just simply rest in this knowing awareness no matter what happens. It's just so beautiful just to rest in the knowing and allow whatever happens to arise effortlessly, like waves in the ocean, like currents in the ocean of being. Now just look at the nature of your stillness and movement. As you rest in the knowing the stillness. When you're still, what is the nature of your stillness? Does it have a location or a shape or a color? Are there any boundaries? When you explore the experience of stillness, when you know the stillness itself, what do you find? There's just this gentle knowing of stillness. And now do the same with the experience of movement. If there's a little thought, if you allow the thought to arise, thought about a loved one. When the mind is moving, when this awareness of your loved one, this thought arises, what's the nature of that movement? Does it have a location, a shape, a color? Any boundaries? When you explore your experience of movement, what do you find? Is the knowing of movement the same as the gentle knowing of stillness? And now turn your attention to awareness itself, the knower, the one who is experiencing stillness and movement. Is the knower of stillness the same or different as the knower of movement? Who knows stillness? Who knows movement? And then just rest in awareness itself, this knowing of stillness, the portal of stillness and movement. Just rest, surrender, drop, sink, as if you're dropping deep down, 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 resting in the ocean of being. Down, surrender, and sink. You've become the ocean. There is only vastness. There is only this openness, your being. You're just opening up the aperture of awareness itself, being the ocean, being the vastness, recognizing that everything is happening within this ocean of being. What you're feeling in your body, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what's happening in your mind in terms of thought and emotion. The stillness and the movement. Rest in this vast ocean of being. Rest in this boundless awareness. And allow all experience, whether stillness or movement, happen through awareness itself, without any judgment, any expectation. Rest. Be this open, vast, limitless ocean. Be this ocean of awareness and allow everything to happen within it effortlessly. Rest in the deep peace of still, silent, spacious awareness. Rest in the deep peace of still, silent, spacious awareness. Rest in the deep peace of still, still, still. Now, slowly, feel the stillness as a whole from the inside of your body. It's as if your entire body is saturated with stillness. Sense the entire stillness of your body inside your skin. Notice how you feel. If you could sum this up in a word or a phrase or an image, what would this be? Record this deep stillness, these deep feelings with your word or phrase or image in every cell of your body. So you can use it, remember it, connect to it, reawaken it, bring it with you at all times, be present to it at all times. Slowly open your eyes, very slowly, like the sun rising at dawn, with the awe and wonder and delight of a young child in a temple. Everything feels fresh, vibrant, and new. Feel the top of your head and the stillness pouring into your being and all around you. Feel your hands in your lap, saturated with this stillness of being. Feel your feet on your ground with this still connection to earth, the peace flowing through your being. And just reflect on this meditative experience. What were the most important moments? What cue made the most impact on you? Did you notice any moments when your state of consciousness shifted? Was there a moment when you let go, surrendered fully, and became fully absorbed in awareness itself? What insights can you take from this experience to help you and support you in living a more compassionate life? To just take a few moments to write anything down that might help you to remember this experience, along with any insights. Well done. And as you move, slowly move with this gentle, peaceful, calm awareness, feeling every movement as an expression of the ocean of being. As you take a look around, feel, see all the details of your world, again, as expressions of this still, calm presence, this tranquility and serenity that's radiating from you. Taking the richness and the beauty of this moment, notice how everything unfolds in this invisible, timeless, peaceful presence. And that every moment is an opportunity to feel, experience this unbound flow of empty, open, loving, peaceful, natural knowing. Thank you always for your divine presence and your love and peace that can change the world. So thank you too to Fred and Constantine who joined us partway through. We're very grateful to have you indeed. So perhaps if we just go around, and anybody's got anything that they'd like to share, anything that they'd like to open to, we'd love to hear. Monica.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks, Kevin. One thing I noticed was two things kind of stood out to me in this practice today was that there's no beginning or end in the absolute realm, the spacious awareness realm. That was something that I felt today more for some reason. And it was comforting for some reason. Yeah, I really like that. And then the other thing that stood out to me was when I opened my eyes at the end, I had much more appreciation for the things around me, just like my plant. And just, it was kind of like more of a, if I could explain it any different, just appreciation for it just as it is, not needing anything from it, or it was really nice. So thank you so much, Stephen. Thanks, Kevin.
Beautiful. I love the comfort of no beginning, no end. So it sounds like my daughter when she asked me yesterday, she said, Dada, what happens if you die? And I was said to her, well, there isn't any beginning and end to this awareness, right? This consciousness is with you always. She pondered that for, it's like for an 8-year-old, that might be a little bit of a stopping statement, but it speaks to that no beginning, no end, that it's always present and that it's always open and that it's always vast. And that is really, to rest in that is really very rich indeed. So thank you for sharing that comfort of no beginning, no end. Yeah, and that gentle appreciation for every moment. It's fully there. Because right now, where are all your plants? And you're looking at each of us with that same gentle appreciation as your plants, and it's lovely. Right? I just love that indeed. I know somebody who went on a retreat the other day and said to me, I suddenly opened up to the power of the trees because I could suddenly feel them all, so we become very, very aware of the presence of our natural neighbors and friends that if we've got a garden, we tend to name them. And when we head out further, we might forget sometimes that every single plant and frack and air molecule are also our family and friends. So I love that. Thank you, Monica. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you, Stephen.
So much fun. Fred.
Well, I came in late and I had no idea how long you had already been talking. I thought, let's just stay yet. But there was the first kind of, let's say the first half, there was this kind of this unrest of not knowing where we were. And also kind of, I still have a lot to do. So this feeling of almost, if there was a kind of a choice whether it was good to stay or not. But that was also just the surface. And so slowly the depth of that unchanging kind of more eternal aspect, the timeless aspect kind of came in. And then there was this beautiful image of a pearl that is in, let's say, in its how do you call it? There's a kind of, the pearl also grows because of there is an irritation.
Mm.
And so this, I really felt more and more coming into that pearl aspect and enjoying, in a sense, that irritation. And in the end, there was this much deeper peace. That was beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. You know, I do love the fact that when people come in at different points, they're going to experience different things, because there is a sense of, oh, well, you haven't had the lead. Where are we in the, you know, in the ocean? Where are we? And of course, you're never anywhere else other than where you are. And then, like you say, that's what a beautiful symbol. You are our pearl, Fred.
Yeah.
You're, you know, that the pearl only does grow. I agree. It grows into this natural radiance through it, you know, through the irritation. What a beautiful metaphor for exactly the whole, you know, relationship in this meditation to stillness or to being.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Constantine, so lovely to see you.
Oh, so wonderful to see everyone. Very touched. What a deep practice. Wow. Lots of heft. We're just sinking into this bottomless ocean, melting. And could really feel everyone's heart here. And yeah, didn't matter if I was late. The ocean was there. I just dove in. It's always there. Yeah, gorgeous practice. Thank you, Stephen. But everyone for holding the space for, yeah, it's really gorgeous. Noticing that as part of the practices that I'm involved in now, just noticing that if I set the intent to not drop out in between the bardo states of transitioning from the practice to the non-practice, that actually it stays. Of course it stays. Of course it does. It's always right here. You can't avoid it. And this is this whole no start, no end. Of course. And but being able to bathe in the ocean so profoundly just makes it even easier to notice everything in the ocean, including the waves. No big deal, but a huge deal at the same time. Thank you.
Beautifully said, Constantine. Yes, I was hoping somebody would mention the bottomless ocean, because that's, I mean, Fred has mentioned the everlasting, and Monica mentioned the no beginning, no end, and the bottomless ocean is that same beautiful recognition that there is definitely no beginning, no end, just this simple recognition of, just as you said, of course. It's no deal, and it's also a big deal. It's all at once. And the recognition of everything everywhere all at once is so profound that it does speak straight to the bottomlessness, the everlasting, and the no beginning and no end. That recognition is truly, truly profound. I think that's what humanity is recognizing when it comes to, like my daughter was mentioning, this, what we call a transition of death and dying, or bardo states, and all the that there isn't that. There never was. It's just we've made up a whole lot of stories around different things in our humanness to try to deal with transitions and states. But actually, the bottomless ocean and the everlasting and the no beginning, no end speaks to all the ancient traditions and all the reasons why religions birthed to attempt to answer some of those questions for which there is just infiniteness and boundlessness as a response, or namelessness or wordlessness. So thank you, Constantine. That was so wise and beautiful. Love that. Bill.
Yeah, just a few words to you, Stephen, for your wonderful leadership and the venture into the ocean, not being middle of the continent and the prairies, and I haven't dived into many of the oceans, but it was beautiful. To me, it was I could sense the depth and the floating down in the, just swaying like this and settling down and down. And it was bottomless. It was just anyways, it was totally, I just loved it. It was very beautiful. Like I could feel the depth of stillness in a way that is different than what I usually experience. So thanks very much. Wonderful. Thanks to both of you and Kevin, as well. Wonderful leadership here. So thank you much.
Beautiful, Bill. Beautiful. And I'm going to pass to Karen in a moment for any final words. Karen.
I just want to thank everybody. It was beautiful, and the comments. Two things. One was what Fred was talking about, that pearl. And it reminds me of the work of A.H. Amos with the Diamond Approach, Pearl Beyond Price. And that pearl is a real thing. It's a real luminosity. And the thing that I noticed the most was the clear light mind that just appeared after some stillness, a long period of stillness. And then all of a sudden it was luminous. And it was beautiful. It was like the pearl, but it was, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that's just so rich. Thank you we can feel your clear light. We can feel the pearl that's Karen. That's so lovely. From the pearl that's Fred to the pearl that's Karen. Wow, that's just what a wonderful, gentle feeling to finish up on. That's just wonderful, Karen. Thank you. You dropped us all in there. I'm so grateful. So very beautiful. Kevin, so back to you.
Oh, thank you, Stephen, for that beautiful guidance, and thank you all for sharing your experience. That's just phenomenal. Yeah. And I for my part, I'll just add a little comment on that subtle difference that I experienced from absorbing as stillness, which there's a vanishing, and then just a subtle shift to awareness itself, which is brightening, that clear light. There's just a little, with stillness, I'm almost gone and almost unaware, but then there's that brightening that's still, but it's awake and aware at the same time. So it was wonderful guidance, and you all expressed it so well. So thank you. Thank you for being here with us live, and thank you for just fully participating. And we can feel this collective group connection with that essence of who we are. So thank you for holding that space, as I think Constantine said. And
thank you.
Yes, thank you for all of you who are watching also on Enlightened World Network and Raising Our Vibration community. Thank you for joining with us. And please join us again next month, third weekend of the month, for our ROV Global Meditation. Have a wonderful month and enjoy the coming of spring if you're in this part of the world. If you're down under, we're ready for it up here.
Yeah.
So send it to us.
Mhm.
All right. Love and blessings to you all.
Bye.
Thank
for
you.
now.
Bye.
Lovely to see you again, Kevin.
Wonderful to see you, Konstantin.
I've missed you.
Yes, we missed you.
Love and blessings.
Love and blessings.